I wanted to share something with healers and empaths. Be very mindful, very mindful. This is why listening is such a powerful tool. When people are talking about themselves, or when people are talking about you, and I had to sit with myself and say, like, for instance, I heard today, a lot of stuff that you say. And it's not the first time I heard it. A lot of stuff some stuff you say you're not living, which is semi true, in the sense of I either share what I observe, I either share what it was dawned upon me. Wait, let me actually, nah. I actually will share what was dawned upon me, or I share something that I'm learning. And because I care to share while I learn, instead of just like just mastering it and keeping it to myself, you gotta be very mindful of when others are speaking to you. And that's why I don't take things personal, because everything's a learning moment. But also, because I'm so transparent, it almost hurts. It's one of the things that I gotta be actually more protective about. I'm just super transparent, unless it's something that you don't need to know, like it's none of your business because you can't help me. But I had to learn the difference between. Here's how you tell the difference between somebody talking to you and somebody talking about you. I mean, about themselves out loud. When somebody's talking to you, it's like it hits you different. When I say it hits you, like, you pause. When and I want to say you pause, mean like it makes you think. It almost to the point where you get defensive. When somebody is talking, it almost, no, I would say it almost, if not most times, creates a knee jerk, defensive reaction. When somebody's talking about you, about themselves out loud, usually, here's the trick. They usually share the same gift as you, and you're doing what they're not doing, and they critique you in a way that is almost unnecessary, because of over analytical thought. Like, it's almost too deep. It's almost unrecognizable. It's almost unnecessary, and it's sometimes, I would even say sometimes, if not a great amount of the time, it's false. And and that's the trick. Do your deep inner and outer research and say, is that false? And if it's false, you have to say they were talking about themselves out loud. If it's false, they were talking about themselves out loud and projecting it onto you. I've done that sometimes, and I've been a victim of it a lot. And usually the hardest part about this is you clench it to be your identity, and it's not the truth. You clench it to be your identity, like you're doing something that's wrong. And I said, a lot of times, a lot of the things that I share, it's either I observed, I had an understanding about it, I'm living it, or I'm learning. Like, I'm actually walking that. And I'm mastering it along the way. So I want to share with you so you don't make my mistake. You know? And that doesn't mean you're not living it. Like, for instance, me and my partner had to come to a thorough. I had to come to with my partner who I had to come to an understanding, like on some, like he posts different. He posts like lifestyle pictures, and I'm not there. So I don't post stuff I don't live. I don't post stuff I don't understand. I don't post stuff that doesn't resonate with me or somebody like me. And my friends were telling me, yo, you need to post stuff like that. Even in homelessness, they were like, yo, you need to post stuff like that. You need to post pictures that do that. And I said, that's cool, but that's not me. And a lot of the things, they come from a heart space. So almost, I would say 70% of everything that I share with you, I'm living. The 30% of it is either I'm mastering as I speak to you, or it's something I observed. It's something that I put my eye on. I said, "Wow, I, wow," and it caught my attention, and I wanted to share it with you because it could be something that you can grow from, and I can grow from. You know what I'm saying? So be very mindful of when people say to you the difference between you being them talking to you and them talking to themselves out loud. Because when you start to when you start to be around people who share the same gifts as you often share the same weaknesses. Because not only do you attract your strengths, you also attract your fears and your weaknesses. So learn from it, of course, learn from what they're saying and really reflect on how you can become better from what they said, if it's any what true. But also understand if they're talking about themselves out loud because they don't have the courage to do what you're doing, especially if you're acting in a gift that they have and they're not.